So as you can see, I've got my beautiful wife here with me at the cabin, and it's been a long time since I've had you out here, but also just on an episode. I think it was, 5 years ago?
5 or 6.
Since
I had to go back and look.
Since I last had you on an episode.
Oh my goodness.
It takes a bit to get out here to the cabin. It's a little bit isolated, and to make the journey out here with my wife's ongoing health issues, it's been difficult. Most times you haven't been able to come out. Today you're doing well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know a lot of people have been asking about you and just concerned because it was about 5 years ago that we talked about your journey with brain cancer and your road to healing and recovery from that. It's a great story. If you haven't seen that video, I'll make sure to link it in the description below. But ever since then, people have been asking for an update. What's going on? Is she okay? And that's kind of a mixed answer.
Yeah,
But
that was just 15 years ago. The diagnosis, the surgery, the treatment, 15 years ago. And so now I've been cancer-free since then, and it's just been a journey of the aftermath.
yeah, so it was really an impossible situation for the surgeon, and he did a great job, but still there's going to be damage.
Yeah.
So, and you've had a list of symptoms and issues that have stemmed from that, and all from passing out at random times to constant migraines to insomnia to confusion.
Yeah, not being able to speak, not having words, not being able to write.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the times where I lose my ability to speak, I've tried to write, and I make squiggles.
Mm-hmm. Or you'll get your words confused. You'll want to say one thing, but then it'll come out like gibberish because your speech center is affected.
What I've been diagnosed with as a repercussion of everything is functional neurological disorder, FND, and all of those symptoms of what is passing out and what we assumed was fainting spells. They're actually non-epileptic seizures, and since they really started when our daughter was 6 months old.
Yeah, just a baby.
The non-epileptic seizures were daily.
Yeah.
Often multiple times a day.
At your worst, you were having them 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And whenever you pass out or have the seizure, it wipes you out for the day. Like it's
awful.
You can't remember.
No.
You don't know where you are, what's going on. You have to kind of have that come back to you, and you have to rest after it happens.
Yeah. It's terrible. Like, it's the closest thing that I can think of to drowning, but that would feel like. It's terrible, and there's no control. It just takes over. But thankfully, they have been lessening. I am working with a fantastic team of doctors. There isn't a cure, but we're working on ways to help alleviate some symptoms and manage symptoms. Any improvement we are so grateful for, and that really wasn't a thing. Like, improvement for 7 years was non-existent.
Yeah, it was really, really scary, especially at the most difficult phase of what you were going through. Like, you would be bedridden for months on end.
Yeah.
And which is hard enough to go through, but also we had this little girl that, we love, and you want to give her your attention, but a lot of the time you just have to rest, and so that's why I've been part-time on YouTube, and a lot of people ask me, like, why don't you make more videos? We really like them, but we want to see more. Why don't you make more? And that's really the reason, is that I'm only part-time. So I do what I can when my wife is feeling good, but I am so thankful to see that in the last few months that we're starting to see a bit of an improvement. It'll be something that you'll always struggle with.
Yes, absolutely. I really noticed 2 years ago the vision and my left eye was getting worse quickly. And the left eye was my good eye. The tumors were concentrated on the right side. So the vision that I had lost back 15 years ago, the majority of it was on the right side, and my left was always the good eye. So when the vision of my left eye started going, I got worried. I got very worried. Went to my eye doctor. That's the first place we started. And he said, yeah, you know what, we need to get you in for an MRI. I'm gonna send those scans to your neurosurgeon. Basically, we're gonna go from there. You also need to see a neuro-ophthalmologist. So I'm gonna send you the referral to him, and we'll see what's going on. So I had the MRI, and it ended up being that my neuro-ophthalmologist appointment was before my neurosurgeon appointment. So we went, saw the neuro-ophthalmologist. He confirmed 50% of my left eye, the vision in my left eye is gone. And he pulled up the scans. He had the MRI results, and from what he saw, he said, I see something, and it looks like the beginnings of a new tumor. So that was a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
And that was in December of 2021. So we're just coming up to 2 years when we got that news.
Yeah, just before Christmas we got that.
Just before Christmas. And then my appointment to see the neurosurgeon was just after Christmas, right between the week between Christmas and New Year's. So our prayer was, when we talked to the neurosurgeon, let the tumor not be there. So my neurosurgeon was seeing the exact same scans that my neuro-ophthalmologist said he saw the beginnings of a new tumor on. And the day came where we had the appointment with my neurosurgeon, and I thought he was going to, the first thing he was going to address was the new tumor.
Yeah, and I remember asking questions when we first were told that this is a tumor, the beginnings of one.
Yeah.
And again, just before Christmas, and we're sitting down in Toronto.
Yeah.
And just being like, okay, so what's going to happen? Like, is this surgery? Are we doing radiation? It was just trying not to panic.
Yeah, exactly.
But feeling totally overwhelmed, and then having to head into the holidays with that on our minds. Still trying to make Christmas fun and exciting for our daughter.
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure that she didn't feel any of that stress.
Yeah.
And I think we did a great job with that.
I think we did, yeah.
We kept it inside, but it was terrifying.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we were waiting to go meet this. There was the neurosurgeon for him to give us our plan for radiation or surgery or both or whatever. And
because the neuro-ophthalmologist, he said, I can't tell you. It's going to be up to the neurosurgeon what we do. So we didn't know what the game plan was. We just knew that the neuro-ophthalmologist saw the beginnings of a tumor, that the vision of my left eye was at 50%, and that's where we were left off.
Yeah.
So the day of the appointment comes with the neurosurgeon, and he didn't jump right into the tumor. He talked about, I see you do have vision loss, your nerves are very pale, and behind your eyes, your optic nerves are very pale. I'm not surprised with what you had done. And also he was addressing all of the symptoms that I was having, and he said, so the next step is for you to see a neurologist. And you're like, okay. And he just kind of was leaving it at that. And we're like, okay, so what about the tumor? It's exactly what I said. And this is exactly what he said back to me. He said, said, "What tumor?"
Which is exactly what we were praying for. Like, we know this is an impossible prayer. We've already been told it's a tumor. We had the scans.
Yeah, but it ended up being that what the neuro-ophthalmologist saw was, to the neurosurgeon, he said it's very clearly scar tissue. I'm surprised you don't have more. He said, in fact, I've been going over all of your scans over the last 15 years, and he said your scar tissue is actually getting smaller, which that doesn't really happen. But okay, so he said at this point, said if a cancer, if a tumor is to grow back, it's more likely to come back in like recent years following remission. But he said the longer you go, the less likely it is. He said at this point, you tumor-wise, cancer-wise, you don't have anything to worry about.
Which was a miracle to
So
us.
that was, oh, I remember just, I cried.
Yeah.
Because that was our prayer, was, Lord, when we go see the neurosurgeon, let the tumor not be there. And he did it in a way that we'd never even thought. And it wasn't tumor tissue, it's just scar tissue. That apparently it keeps getting smaller.
Yeah. Which is amazing. Like, we took it as a total miracle. We're like, thank you, Jesus, for that.
Yeah.
Now, this was during the pandemic that you went in to this appointment.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
And we were back in Toronto again for that. But then he said to you, but I've got some bad news.
Yes, and so at that point too, though, I was diagnosed with optic nerve atrophy, which is basically just a slow degradation of the optic nerves. There isn't a fix for it. It was basically just with your neuro-ophthalmologist, we just have to keep tracking the regression. He's basically saying that inevitably you will be blind at some point. So that was the hard part.
Yeah, and the thing was, when you had your radiation treatment, they concentrated the beam through your optic
Yeah,
nerves,
well, it
right?
was where the tumors were directly on top of the optic nerves. They were encasing the optic nerves and pituitary gland, so all of that is just, the radiation was right there.
So that was the damage. It was basically been slowly killing, which is why you've seen the vision loss.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you coming out and saying that to me, like, the good news is there's no tumor. I was like, okay, well, I can face anything now, because we've just gone through Christmas. I've been barely keeping it together because we've had this hanging over our heads, and I've been so worried about you. I was like, okay, that's great. Whatever the other news is, I can deal with. And then you said, the doctor said I'm losing my vision, and we don't, like, he said he'd have to track with you to see how fast the progression was. It could be quick, it could be years, it could be months, it could be whatever.
Yeah.
And then you told me that just absolutely devastated me. And I just didn't know how to handle it. And the funny thing is, you were the one comforting me.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, well, I have a peace about it. I know I'm going to be
did.
okay. I have a peace. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel that peace. I was just so distraught hearing that news and just wondering, what does that mean for the future? Like, are you not going to be able to see in a year? Or, like, I had no idea. But we've been going back, having more appointments with the neuro-ophthalmologist to track with it. The past 2 appointments, they've said your vision loss has stabilized.
Yeah, which is great news. Every day I wake up and all throughout the day, my prayer is that thank you Jesus, that I can see, I can still go about my day. I can't drive, but I can still go about my day. I do bump into things.
Yeah, because your depth perception is pretty much gone.
My depth perception is gone. Walking out of this cabin, the outsider might need to make me a ramp.
I'll hold your hand. I'll make sure to hold your hand.
But I can see, I can paint, I can see your face in the morning. I can see our daughter's beautiful face. I can see the beautiful trees out the window here. I can decorate the house for Christmas. Like I am just so grateful for the vision that I have, and I'm at peace. I really am at peace about it.
Yeah, the thing is that God doesn't promise that life will be easy, but He does promise that He'll be with us if we trust Him, and so that's what we're doing, and we're just focusing on the good and the blessings that are in our life, and we're just thankful that your vision's stable right now. Again, you don't have depth perception, and you do people in grocery stores, because you look like you conceive just fine,
Yeah,
for the most part, but you bump into people. And normally I have to drive the cart in the grocery store now.
But also, I need to also have the cart because also with FND, I'm very dizzy and very unbalanced, and just walking, I don't walk well. So I'm trying to hang on, but also I don't see anything this side until it's like right here.
Yeah.
Like this, I can't see anything going on over here. But people don't know that. And so going into stores I avoid it as much as I can.
We found what works best is if we both drive the grocery cart together.
Yes.
Because I point the cart where it needs to go, and you hang on for stability.
And if I'm on the right side of the grocery cart, so you stay on my left.
On your blind side.
And that way I know, like, whatever, I can hit you and bump into you as much as it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we work with our challenges.
We work with it.
And you know, I'm really proud of you that through all of the challenges and the setbacks and the health scares you've had, you've been always positive, always cheerful, always the bright light in our home.
Thank you.
And you have every excuse to be negative, and but you're not. And like I've said before, you're the one encouraging me half the time, because it's hard to go through something and you can't compare that, but it's really hard to see someone you love more than anything go through something difficult. And as a man who wants to fix things, it's been so hard for me to just realize I can't fix this. But you've been the encourager, and of course my faith in Jesus has been holding me strong. It hasn't been easy, but we've been doing it together, and we still see the blessings through it all.
Oh, we do, definitely. But we encourage each other. Like you carry me through it as well. And every day, I tell him every day, he saves my life.
And we've got this cute little daughter that just brightens our spirits every single day. So I mean, you can't be depressed or sad when you've got,
Exactly.
We've got a beautiful little girl that just we adore.
Yeah.
Keeps us busy.
Keeps us busy. Who is a miracle in herself.
Yeah.
The doctors told me I would never be able to have.
Yeah, no, she's our miracle child for sure. So yeah, that's basically an update on the last 5 years since we've last given an update on Mrs. Outsider's health.
Yes. Christmas
is almost here, and I think it's time that we get this cabin ready for the holidays.
Christmas is my favorite.
She loves Christmas more than anyone I know, and so we're gonna deck this cabin out, and you're gonna help me, right?
Of course I am.
Okay.
I can't wait.
I'll lift the heavy stuff. I'll climb the ladders, and you can do the decorating.
I would love that. Absolutely.
And we can't wait to show you guys the cabin for Christmas. So
we will show you.
That'll be the next episode. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Thanks
we love you all. Appreciate you all.
Thanks for hanging out with me at the cabin.
Aw. This is my happy place.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Anyway.
It feels good. Okay.
Well, anyway, until next time, my friends, stay safe, be well, and God bless.